What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today, man, I'm gonna be bringing y'all a very special build, and this one is gonna be the very best spot up threat in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now, this build out of all NBA players, it's gonna be reminding me of Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, with this one today, we'll be able to reach a 100 plus when it comes to our mid-range shot, three-pointer, interior defense, block, and defensive rebound. Now, we'll also be able to get a 90 plus for our strength and stamina. Now, getting into the animations, we're going to be able to get all of the upgraded packages for the playmaking as well as the finishing. Now, getting into the badges, we're going to be able to get 5 Hall of Fame, catch and shoot, guard up, open looks, midi magician, and comeback kid, 15 gold, 17 silver with 18 bronze. Now that's going to bring us up to a total of 15 badges, and today I really think that this is going to be a build not only that you can take into any game mode, but that you can be dominant with one-on-one. So before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that you want to do with this build is put it under the power forward position. As for the height, put this up to 7 feet. Now moving on to the weight, I'm going to go ahead and put this down to 229. As for the wingspan, I think it's going to be best at 7 feet exactly. Now from here, we're all set to move forward with today's build, but I want to be sure that when it comes to these attributes, everything is crucial to follow along, especially when it comes to the badge tiers and animations. So the first area that I do want to get into is going to be the physicals. This is really going to set the tone for the rest of the build, so go ahead and put our speed all the way up to a 69. As for when it comes to our acceleration, I like this best at a 60. Getting into the strength, I'm not going to be creating a weak build, especially for the power forward position. So go ahead and put this all the way up to a 90. As for the vertical, I definitely want to be able to rebound, so I'm going to go with an 80 right here. Now as for the stamina, I want to be sure that I'm able to use turbo as much as possible, so go ahead and put this up to a 95. And with the +4 that we get from the Gatorade facility workouts, I'm going to have a 99 stamina, 84 vertical, 94 strength, 64 acceleration with a 73 speed. Now I think these numbers on a 7-foot build is pretty good, especially when you're looking at the defensive end, but it's even more so going to help you out on the offense. So getting into the defensive rebound, I'm going to put this up to an 85, and I think this is perfect. You don't have to go anything higher, especially with this kind of rating for the wingspan. As for the offensive, leave this at a 50. Now moving on to the block, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 92, and this right here will allow us to get anchor on the silver tier. Now we also do get chase down artists. As for the steal, I want to be balanced, so go ahead and put this to a 60. Right there, it's my key goal to unlock bronze interceptor, and that's really going to allow you to really open up the floor on the defensive end and get some steals. Now getting into the perimeter, I want to be able to move up and guard any position, so I'm going to go with the minimum of a 58. And then as for when it comes to the interior, I think 82 is going to be great. Now look, we get gold anchor as well as silver post lockdown, and I think for this build as a whole on the defensive end, you're pretty balanced and there's no weakness when it comes to this area. Now getting into the playmaking, as for the speed with ball, go ahead and put this up to a 55. As for when it comes to the ball handle, I like this best at a 69. And then getting into the pass accuracy, make sure you go with a 77, and this right here is what we're going to be looking like for this area. Now we're still able to be effective in game modes like the Wreck. Also, when you take a look at the ball handle, my favorite badge right here is going to be Gold Big Driver. I think handles for days on bronze is going to be essential. And then for the speed with ball, you effect the same exact area with this badge. So the break starter badge on silver is important for my liking. Also, when it comes to special delivery, I think all of these badges really play hand in hand with my type of playstyle. Now, when it comes to the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put my mid-range shot all the way up to a 93. Now, this is really going to allow you to be effective on the inside as well as the post. Moving on to the three-pointer, I'm not going to be low here either, so I'm going to go with an 85. And then for the free throw, put this up to a 74. Now, the badges that I like most out of this build today is going to be Claymore as well as Corner Specialist. This is really a solid build considering that you get Hall of Fame catch and shoot. I believe that for the three-pointer on this build, you're going to be one of the main targets on your team. Look, you get badges like Midi Magician, Open Looks, and Guard Up. Pretty much everything that you could want for any type of build. Now, once we get into the finishing, I'm going to go ahead and put my post control all the way up to a 75. Moving on to the standing dunk, put this to the same exact thing. As for the driving dunk, I'm going to follow the same trend. And then as for when it comes to the close shot, I'm going to go with a 68. Now, this is what we're going to be looking like for today's build. As you can see on the finishing, some of my favorite badges are going to be Fearless Finisher. We get Gold Post Fade Phenom. Dream Shake on silver will allow you to break ankles. Now, we do get Bronze Hook Specialist as well as Giant Slayer. Let me know down below, what are your favorite things about today's build, and is there anything that you would do to make it even better? Now, as far as for being all around, I think I hit on every single area. Especially for the post scoring, we still get Back Down Punisher with Drop Stepper, and if you know what you are doing, I think this is one of the best big man build that you could take into any game mode, especially in a 1v1 setting. Now, if you want to make any changes or adjustments, do it after we create the build together, but something that everybody needs to take into consideration. If you buy your own boost, that's at least a plus 4 to 5. Adding in your takeover, that's another 10. Now look, we also get an additional boost from buying gear and wearing it. And then if you play well throughout each game, 2K will also give you a minor boost. So that's at least a plus 15 towards any specific area depending on which takeover that you pick. Now, just something that I do want to throw out there to y'all, but let's go ahead and move forward with this build. Now look, if you made it exactly how I showed y'all, we should be able to get these three comparisons: Kristaps Porzingis, Derek Coleman, and Jaren Jackson Jr. And as y'all can see, we have created together the best spot up and big man build in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now, I really do believe that with today's build, you're going to be able to take it into any setting, and I really do think that this is one of the best big men that you can make. Now, taking into consideration with what I've showed y'all, now, I really do just want to say thank y'all for the support. More so than anything, God bless y'all in this crazy world that we live in. I really just want to let you know that if you need anything, drop a comment down below. Just know that you are blessed and Jesus is on your side. So before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.